I'm Todd O'Malley with the law offices of O'Malley and Langan. If I say the word tragedy, what do you think? Floods, hurricanes, devastation on a huge scale. I bet not one of you thought work injury. And that's a problem in our society. Just because something happens one person at a time doesn't make it any less significant. Over 3.5 million people are injured or killed on the job every year, each an individual tragedy. If you've been hurt at work, call O'Malley and Langan, 1-800-817-COMP.
Here at the site of probably one of the worst spills that we hope the state of Pennsylvania will ever see. And I'm here with somebody that's been active in safeguarding the health and safety of the people in Bradford County, Carol French. And Carol, thank you what you do every day.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
For the people up here. And our show this week is the faces of fracking.
Right.
The people that have been adversely affected, the people with high barium rates, people with wells that have been contaminated with fracking fluid, wells that have been contaminated with methane. You were here when this well blew. Tell us about it.
We ended up coming here about 12:45. My friend, my neighbor, Carolyn Knapp, her daughter lives 3 miles down east of here, and the Towanda Creek runs right through her barnyard. And she was in a panic, so we left a meeting we were holding and we came here, and they were really busy. There was about 100 to 150 white trucks running around, and we ended up going where that yellow wheelie is, and we saw a lot of tubing going up to the well pad and over into the private pond, and we'll show that to you later. And they were gathering up the brine water there. They said nothing to worry about, that the brine water is just a little bit saltier than salt water. So, but the guy said that was sitting on the brine wheelie tank, said that they've already collected 50,000 gallons of brine water and are hauling it to Towanda to get retreated. And they expected 2 more wheelies to fill up, but I see as of today, it's 2 days later and they're still hauling residual waste out of that brine.
Carol, I was visiting with someone a couple days ago, their kitchen, and their Formica cabinet countertops were pitted with a white substance that came from a glass that they put on the countertop. It's white with smoke coming out, and people around here in Leroy and other areas seem to be running into a problem with barium.
Yeah, I know there is a lot of problems around here. Also, I think another indicator is going to be the animals that we're going to lose here. We're already losing animals over in the Wyalusing Terry Township area. A lot of the folks in this area that we have talked to, they don't believe that this is a problem yet, but they will experience this problem. This is not going to go away in 24 hours or 6 months from now. The real tall tale of this story is going to be played out maybe a year, 5 years from now. We're going to watch those cows get sick. We're going to watch people get sick. You know, these well tests.
What worries me is the quality of the milk.
I know.
If these cows are eating grass that's contaminated with carcinogens, what are our kids going to get when the milk, and is it being tested for the right type of chemicals? When they test cow's milk, they don't expect to run into situations like this.
You're exactly right, because we asked DFA, we as a farmer, we were concerned about that. How are you testing for it? They don't have regulations to test our food source yet. Not only should we be worried about the milk, we should be worried about the beef. We have corn being grown in Nebraska and Texas right now. Is that contaminated? They're drilling out there, and they have a lot of contamination out there as well.
You know, they said today at the press conference we held earlier, we're going to start delivering water bottles to our legislators. Will you help us? Will you help us get some of those water bottles filled with water out of people's taps, and ask the legislators if they'd like some mentholated water? Or maybe they'd be kind enough just to leave it on their desks as a reminder as to how bad the state of Pennsylvania has forgotten the people that they're meant to protect.
Not only meth water, it is chemical water. We should use that meth as an indicator that chemicals are coming into the water source. The chemicals is what's going to destroy our health in Pennsylvania. Not, you know, the meth is very dangerous, but it's the chemicals that we should be worried about as well. And we're just brushing that right off.
Carol, thanks for what you do every day.
Thank you.
And thanks for appearing on You Be the Judge.
Okay,
for
thank
this
you.
today.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have as our guest now Academy Award nominated producer and director Josh Fox, who's shed an awful lot of light on the problems with hydraulic fracking.
Well, thanks.
Josh, thanks for what you do, and I understand there's another project in the works.
We're making gasoline too. We're probably making some of it right now.
It's terrific, and welcome to Bradford County.
Thanks.
This place was the best kept secret in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Right.
I mean, Stephen Foster lived here, Marie Antoinette almost lived here, and now Chesapeake lives here, and they've done some tough things to the people that live here.
Well, clearly this is front page news all over the world. This blowout, and it's really ironic that we're sitting here watching Chesapeake try to kill a blowout. I think 2 days after the anniversary of the BP oil spill.
On Earth Day.
On Earth Day.
So, what do you think of where we're headed?
Well, it's
nationally with this phenomenon that's called hydraulic fracturing.
Well, from what I understand, Chesapeake has ceased fracking in Pennsylvania because of this incident, and I hope that it stays that way. I mean, it's also clear that the governor of Pennsylvania and the state of Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, has failed the people. I mean, when you have a situation like this, and you have toxic waste, from what I understand, running down into the creek that feeds into the Towanda Creek, that feeds into the Susquehanna River.
And you've noticed the cows.
And the cows are just grazing right next to that
cows,
runoff. Is that what's happening there?
The cows that give our kids milk are eating the grass that was saturated with fracking fluids 48 hours ago.
Really?
It's
Well,
frightening.
I just arrived here. I wanted to see what was going on with my own eyes. I was coming from Syracuse down to do a speech in New York City, and it's just right in the middle. So it was just, I guess, good luck. But I'm amazed. It took me an hour to do 3 miles on Route 6 because of all the trucks. And here comes another one right now.
I've had an office in Towanda for 10 years. And 5 years ago, I could step off the curb and a car would stop.
Right.
Now, I can stand on the curb and watch 100 trucks go by before I can get across the street.
Well, it's a massive industrialization project, and it's very clear that there's no way to control this kind of thing. This is a very typical story. All over the country, all over the world, all over Pennsylvania, where I've traveled, you have problems like this. It's simply not something that has been tested. They've never been able to make this process safe. This is the future if this continues. This is going to go on all over Pennsylvania.
Thanks for being with us, and thanks for everything you do.
No problem.